DD214 Gaming Podcast is for mature audiences only. Any videos, music, or entertainment not originating from DD214 Gaming is used and covered under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, also known as fair use. Opinions expressed are our own and do not represent any DoD or U.S. government entities as a whole. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Viewer and listener discretion is advised. You are no longer alone now, because we have you.
We were just relaxing this weekend.
Yeah, it's 4th of July weekend. I mean, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? So took a nice Sunday off.
Were you out of state? Was that what it was? Like you were just traveling?
No. I think I did a lot of traveling this week. So like by Saturday and Sunday, I had underestimated like the what you might call the toll it was going to take. So by Sunday morning, I didn't like party hard, or it wasn't even anything like malicious like that. It was more like I just maybe overstimulated. So like by Sunday morning, I just still was not kind of quite ready, if that makes sense. Like just like I gotta like have a little bit of my charge in my batteries to do the show, and like to give everybody what they're looking for here. So that's kind of like, not so much an excuse as it just was like the reality that I'm not fucking 25 years old anymore.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Right. So that's kind of like, it is what it is. It is what it is. So how are you guys doing today?
Really good. Really good. We have the Lost at the Fuck crew who just came in. They just said your stream just got officially fucked. That's the
What does that mean?
They're wild boys. When they say that you're about to get fucked, that means you're about to get either stoned or something crazy is about to happen.
Okay, cool. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait.
But like, okay. So, oh, sorry about that.
Excuse me. Is that you or me? Excuse me.
Was it the both of us? I don't know. I mean, so we got a lot to talk about today. We got some. I have to say, it is impressively quiet within all three
households.
Yeah, like it is like
it's a little too quiet. You know what I mean? You know?
Yeah.
It's a little too raff. You know?
Yeah.
Oh shit! But yeah, what we got today, man?
You know what this used to mean when we were like downrange, right? When it would get like too quiet. You know what I mean? Like it's like, hold on to your shit, guys, because your asshole's.
Fuck! Here we go again.
Your asshole's about to take a bite out of the seat you're sitting on. Okay.
Like, and the next thing you hear. Yeah, and then that's the last thing you hear, and then you're done. That's the last thing you hear, and then that's it. So
what are you gonna do? So yeah. Joe, how you been?
I've been here.
You poor bastard. You're tired too, aren't you? You're tired too.
Are we all tired? My legs are killing me.
I actually went out and practiced softball last night. So I did actually make it out last night. So that helped. I think that we didn't have any games this weekend, but our team got together just to like practice and like just do a little bit, which is cool. And so I did kind of muster the energy for that. But like when I came home, like I went to bed early and I no shit woke up like bright-eyed and bushy-tailed at fucking 6 o'clock this morning. So like it was one of those, like definitely one of those, like we left Well, shit. You want John? You just want me to go right into my fucking weekend review, bro?
Dude,
Yeah.
go
Go
right
ahead
into
and hit
it.
it.
We're
All
not,
right, just fucking knock this shit out. Okay, so last Monday, basically the day after we did the podcast last week, about 168 hours ago, me and my daughters left here from Missouri to go down I should say over to West Virginia, and so they can visit family and stay with their
West
grandparents.
Virginia.
Oh yeah, country mama. Yeah. So we've talked about it many times on the show. I love road trips. I love traveling. You know what I mean? Just seeing different shit. And we stayed in a place overnight called New Albany, Indiana. And for those of you who are not familiar, this is like directly across the river from Louisville, Kentucky.
What happened to Old Albany?
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm a little confused. You know what I mean? But it's such a cool thing to watch the transition, because if you're going like west to east, like we've lived in Colorado, so you're driving across the fucking plains, you get into Kansas, it's all fucking plains. And then towards the eastern portion of Kansas, you start getting into these like rolling hills. Then you cross over the river, into Missouri, everything turns fucking green and it's all rolling hills. Okay. Like all just complete rolling hills. Right. Go ahead. What were you going to say, John?
I have an answer for you. New Albany was founded in 1813 when three brothers from New York, Joel Abner and Nathaniel Scribner, arrived at the Falls of Ohio and named the site after the city of Albany, New York. So
dope. That's pretty cool. Bunch of explorer shit back in the day, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Right.
There you go. New Albany.
Speaking of which, dude, like when you start crossing a lot of the rivers as you're going east, dude, like you start realizing really quick if if these bridges weren't here, like how the fuck would we get over there? You know what I mean? Like I must have missed the fucking boat making class in fucking like in fucking like high school and shit. But like I don't know, dude. Like I would have no fucking clue, Like
You would have been like,
yeah, but as you get into Illinois, it's still all green, but then it kind of starts going flat, and then you get these like long kind of winding roads. And then Indiana is where you start getting into like more hills again. But as you get towards the hills in Indiana, this is kind of where like the Appalachians like kind of start barely creeping in. Okay, in the eastern portion of like Indiana, because basically as soon as you hit Kentucky, it's all like Appalachian hills, dude. It's like all like that is it's Appalachia. Okay, and then that takes you on into fucking West Virginia, and I did take some pictures, but unfortunately, like I'm paranoid, and like the pictures that I took are like directly from like where my children are, so like I can't really share them, right? But one of these days, I think what I'm gonna do, I hadn't really decided yet, but what I'm gonna do, since I like to drive so much, I think I'm gonna drive all the way back and get my kids. It's like we hadn't really decided on that yet. Yeah, dude, that's Appalachia right there, and it is fucking amazing, dude. Like it is like the most scenic, picturesque shit you could ever fucking imagine. Saw some friends. I did see. I saw a brother of mine from my first deployment, and we got to spend some time together. And then I saw some family friends who was a brother from the Air Force and his wife. The day I left, we all had breakfast together. So I got to reconnect with some people while I was out there. And so yeah, it's a really wonderful place. Beautiful, beautiful country. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not traveled, whether you're from the East, the West, the North, the South, get the fuck out of your house, dude. Get the fuck off the couch. Get some fucking gas in the car, dude, and just go explore, dude. Like there's a whole fucking world out there, and you'll never know until you're fucking staring at it. I'm just saying. I'm just fucking saying, man. It's beautiful. And so, and then on the way back, the plan was so. You remember I told you like my buddy Pablo that our we've had him on the show, Pablo Martinez.
Yep,
right?
Pablo Martinez
from Forged in Fire, right? Like, well, he was traveling to the St. Louis area to visit some family, and he's never been out to the Midwest. So on the way back, the plan is to get to St. Louis and see Pablo, and we were going to go to a fucking St. Louis Cardinals game, and and just like chill out and do all that. And I'll get to that kind of in a minute. Actually, I'll tell that part now. So we're going to skip ahead to me being in St. Louis. I got to see my sister, and I got to stay with my sister and her family, and they're the most amazing people. I got to see Pablo, and we got to hang out a little bit, have a couple of brews. The game got rained out, so we We took the metro train. This is like only the second time in my life I've ever been on a train, by the way, John. You'll be proud of me.
Shit.
Never been on, like, dude, I grew up out west, bro. We ain't got fucking trains out there, bro. Like,
Yeah.
the only trains we got are fucking freight trains, bro.
They've only just start being built a couple years ago over there too. So I mean, we're talking within the last 100 years.
Speaking of which, after taking the metro all the way to downtown St. Louis and shit, I don't know why our country does not have high speed fucking rail. Like this is, it's like baffles me.
You guys don't have Amtrak heading over there?
We've got I'm talking like everywhere. I mean, like literally, like there should be high speed rail. Like you just get a ticket and
local.
Dude, like in Red Dead Redemption, you know how like you buy a ticket and depending on like
Yeah.
what your final destination is, you know, like you freaking like that's the price. Like shit like that, bro. Like you need to go from like New York to fucking like Louisville, Kentucky. There should be high speed rail with different stops if you need, you know, whatever to change trains or whatever. Like
yeah.
that, like our whole country should have this shit the way we have the interstate. And it would make travel so much easier, right? If you didn't have to fucking worry about the car thing and you could just get from point A to point B.
Yeah, and I mean with the way that they're making trains now, you know, ecologically, yeah, you know, I think there's a way that to be able to build the rails in places where people would normally protest, where you know a lot of that pollution won't come in,
right?
You know, and stuff like that.
It would certainly produce less. So even if there's going to be some pollution, it would certainly pollute less than like every individual in that train driving an individual car. You know what I mean? Yep. Like that's kind of what that's almost, and it's right along those lines. And I was sitting there because we were doing highway speeds. As soon as we got on the train, we were doing highway speeds the whole way to fucking St. Louis, aside from the different stations we stopped at to let people on and off. You know what I mean? So you're doing highway speeds the entire time. Whereas once you start getting into those cities, your car would actually go slower than the train because the train doesn't have to fucking stop. You know what I mean? So that's kind of that's exactly what I'm getting. Anywho, had a good time. A little disappointed, especially I'm sure for Pablo's family and kids. Kids probably wanted to see a baseball game, you know, but it got rained out. But we had a good time. Really good to see friends and family. That part was like a major blessing. So that was really cool. And other than that, freaking, it was pretty tame. On the way in and on my way to St. Louis, I stayed overnight. I decided to stay overnight in a place called Evansville, Indiana. So from West Virginia to Evansville, Indiana, I had an occurrence. So, John, you want to roll that? You want to roll that beautiful bean footage and pull up the Roadhouse? Jay's got a Roadhouse this week, and it's a little bit different than normal. So,
good, and this gives me time to relax.
Yeah. There you go. Just chilling out.
Oh,
not that one. Not yet. All right. Oh, pilgrims.
Oh, I think me and Scolina are going to have to hide ourselves for the screen share.
Oh, you're fine with that. That's whenever you share, you're fine. Don't worry about all that. But all right, pilgrims, this Roadhouse is going to be a little bit different this week. All right. I want you guys to hold on to your hats. This time I'm going to need you to buckle in. This week, Jay's Roadhouse is being brought to you by something called a derecho. If you don't know what a derecho is, you should look it up. They are straight line windstorms. Jay has now driven through two of them in less. All right. Yeah, take that one down just for a second, John, and I'll get into it here real quick. All right, so day one driving back, I'm heading in the direction of St. Louis, going east to west. My destination for the evening was Evansville, Indiana. It's not a very big town. It's not really a town of note unless you're from the area. Probably it's called the tri-state area. That's where it's like a confluence of Indiana, Illinois, and Kentucky. Again, very beautiful stretch of the American landscape. All right, so I do enjoy my long drives. But if you're driving through the Midwest, occasionally you are going to run into some bad fucking weather. Okay, I want to say a couple of things up front. You're going to hear me talking about a couple of decisions that I made while driving. Not all those decisions are always the right decisions to make. I did kind of like hold my life and my car in my hands by making a couple of these decisions. I will explain my decision-making process and why I chose to do that. But I want to make it very clear that if you do encounter bad or extreme weather while driving, always do the right thing. Always let common sense guide you. Don't necessarily try to do what I did and outrun a storm. I'll explain my decision making here in a minute, but we'll get to that here in a minute. So as I'm on I-64 headed west in Indiana. As I'm approaching, I was probably about 30-ish miles away from where I had to turn south to go to Evansville. Does that make sense? And I see this wall cloud in front of me. And for those of you guys who are not familiar, John, if you want to bring that up now you can bring that picture up. A wall cloud. John, are you there? Are you blacking out on me, bud? There we go. There it is. Hey. All right. So what you see on the middle portion, so you see the top part of the white cloud right there, and that middle portion where you still see light in the sky, that's a wall cloud starting to form. This is from Evansville that night. So this is not what I drove through. Okay, but this is to give you an idea of what a wall cloud looks like. And John, if you want to just go ahead and skip to the next picture, kind of like in sequence. And the wall cloud that I encountered was already fully formed. Okay, and I could see that there was a system behind it. Okay, what I thought it was initially was a possible storm cell that might be developing or in the process of developing a tornado. I could see up ahead in the distance. And if you learn to watch the trees, that's what I've learned a lot, is when there's a lot of trees around you, you learn to watch the trees and see which direction the winds are hitting them. And if you can see two different sets of trees and both sets of trees are getting hit with two different directions of wind, you might be in for something, or something might be developing, if that makes sense. When I spent time down at Fort Leonard Wood during my Army career, I got really, really, I would say, good at seeing weather in progress, basically. And so I started learning how to watch the area and the landscapes around me to know what might be coming my way. So I see this wall cloud, and at this point I'm probably less than a minute and a half from being at the wall cloud. And that's kind of where I had to make a decision. Like, okay, if I punch it here, as long as I make it underneath the wall cloud and freaking just keep going straight, whatever happens, and if anything forms, it is most likely, because I could see it coming directly my way, it's going to happen behind me. I just got to get past like that bullshit right there. Does that make sense, guys? And so that was kind of like my decision-making process. What ended up happening is simultaneously the internet went out, and this is like unbeknownst to me. All I had was Google Maps. So I'm still going off Google Maps, don't realize my internet is out. And I punch it, I hit the wall cloud, and as soon as I entered like underneath the wall cloud, there's a stretch of I-64 where there's nothing but trees on both sides. Just nothing but trees. And I start seeing like leaves flying off the trees, and I'm like, oh God, like, what did I do? Right? Like, this is not right, because all that stuff should be happening behind me. Right? And now I'm really watching. And then I start getting hit with like just torrential downpour of rain. Okay. Like extremely high winds. So, and yeah, that is exactly what happened. Like white knuckling for like the next 20 fucking miles. Okay. I'm talking like, and at this point, I'm like, to use a poker expression, I am pot committed. I'm on the road. Okay. I'm following a fucking semi truck who's got his hazard lights on. I've got my fucking hazard lights on. There's cars following me. I'm seeing fucking cars like pulled over on the side, fucking 4x4 fucking lifted trucks with the little fucking like the little nut sacks on the end. They're like parked underneath the fucking like overpasses and shit. And I got like, I'm following a semi and just going, like 35 fucking miles an hour. Okay. Like shit in my pants, white knuckling. My asshole's tearing the seat out of my goddamn fucking car seat I'm sitting in. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was fucking bad. And about 5 miles into it, I see the wind shift. And I was like, okay, fucking cool. That's it. No biggie. All right. We made like through the worst of it. Like, okay, something is definitely forming behind me, right? Like, that's definitely what just happened. And the biggest concern for me was there's a thing called rain wrap tornadoes where you will not see the tornado coming because of the torrential rain. Does that make sense? And that is fucking scary. Okay. I've driven through torrential rain a few times, and it's not fun. And this is not a time where you want to be driving. Okay. Like at all. So I want to reiterate, like, I am by no means a weather expert, but I've done it enough times. And like, that was kind of my decision-making going through it. I thought it was over, and I see the wind shift, the rain's let up a little bit. and the wind starts heading like a different direction, like almost like dead on, whereas it was almost a lateral wind when I was initially hit, by the system. Then the rain started again, and then it started to rain again. Okay, and then it got like fucking worse, like to the point where like I could barely see this. This truck was only probably like less than 100 meters in front of me, and I was having trouble seeing it, like seeing the lights. Okay, so that's how hard it was raining. So we were doing 35, like 35, 30 at times, like just trying to stay on the fucking road. Okay, and then I see leaves start coming off the trees again, which means if you see leaves and very small branches start flying off trees, that's like you're entering like sustained winds of like EF0 and like very light category 1 status, where it's a sustained winds of like above 75 miles an hour. And that's like, oh shit, like it's happening again, right? What I was actually driving into what's called a fucking derecho. Okay, and I don't know if you guys remember from the show when me and my kids moved out here to Kansas City, we got hit with one driving out, and it actually caused a delay in our travels. We had to stay overnight in Kansas because we got delayed by this fucking derecho. I think the video that John's pulling up, this is me like just about as I exited, like after I drove through the wall cloud. This is like as soon as I got out from underneath the wall cloud, and this is me driving into it. And unbeknownst to me, I had another 20 miles of just horrific shit show in front of me. And I thought I was going to be able to video like this. And then I very quickly realized you'll start to see the fucking windshield like start getting pelted with rain. And it wasn't the rain at this moment. It was the wind. I could feel the wind on my car. And of course, if I've got one hand on the wheel and one hand with a fucking phone, that's fucking no-go, ladies and gentlemen. Both hands had to be on the wheel for this one. So yeah, that was like, it doesn't look that bad, but can you see where like all these big tall trees on both sides? That's the real danger right there, because you will not see what's on the other side of those trees or what's possibly coming your way. Okay, so I'll give you guys a couple of tips. John, if you want to pull that down, that's fine. I'll give you guys a couple of quick tips for driving in bad weather. Okay. Number one, if you can seek shelter, immediately do so. If you see like a Love's fucking travel stop, truck stop, okay, a motherfucking hotel, a goddamn fucking McDonald's, okay, if you're in some kind of an area, a populated area, immediately seek shelter. Get off the fucking road. If you cannot get off the fucking road, okay, buckle the fuck in, okay, and fucking hang the fuck on. Try to fucking get to a place where you are outside of the extremity of the weather. Okay, if we're talking about a potential tornado or a tornadic event, okay, get on your fucking handy dandy freaking iPhones or fucking cell phones or whatever. Okay, get on the motherfucking radar weather apps and learn how to fucking read radar. See what direction the fucking storm is heading, and head in a fucking 90 degree direction from whichever way the fucking storm is going. As in, fucking take a 90-degree path and get the fuck out of its way. Okay, that's your other thing to do. Jay, why the fuck didn't you utilize your tech? So about the time I put my phone down, I was like, fuck, I need to check out this fucking storm. Like after I took that video. And when I pulled up my shit, I had no service. I'm talking zero. The only thing that was working on my phone was Google Maps. Literally Google Maps. That was all I had. And I was like, well, fuck, I can't turn that off because I got to get to this fucking hotel, right? I don't know where the fuck I'm going. So at this point, I am all in. All the chips are in the middle of the fucking table. And I drove through 20 miles of just battering fucking like winds and fucking torrential rain. We're talking like, and it ended up being on the news. It was a fucking legit derecho. John, were you able to clip that radar picture of that storm? Did you guys get that from the news article? I think Joe put it in, or Joe what do you call that? One sec. Yeah. I want you guys to see how nasty this fucking thing was. Cause a derecho has to be, I think, somewhere between 40 and 60 miles wide and like 200 miles long. So this wasn't just a storm this was not like an isolated storm that just popped up. This was a massive fucking monster. And I drove like right into the fucking heart of it, trying to get to my goddamn hotel that night. So, and yeah, if you want to pull up that freaking radar, that's pretty much, I just want people to see. So when no, not that one. No. Well, oh yeah, that's fine. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Can you blow that up? Blow that up. And yeah, scroll just a little bit. Yeah, scroll a little bit to the right. So do you guys see that like that like boomerang thing? Look at the area that is covered. That's the bottom of fucking what is that lake? Is that Lake Superior or fucking Michigan? What's the one by Chicago? You guys don't know fucking shit about geography.
I don't know geography.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anywho, Lake Michigan, whatever the fuck it is. All right. Fucking just watch that fucking storm. And like Jay was like fucking right down below south over there. Like, and it was like I drove immediately through all that. And that was what I basically that was like I was like, wow, I just dropped my kids off, for the summer, with their grandparents to have a great time. I'm going to fucking die in the middle of Indiana, fucking like in a goddamn 2003 fucking Pontiac Grand Prix. So yeah, that was fucking, that's the kind of luck the universe gives fucking Jay. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so that was pretty much my, my Roadhouse. I hope everybody, kind of enjoyed that. I certainly did not enjoy that part of it, but I got to tell, dude, that I'll tell you what, man, like once you're pot committed, like stick to your guns. Like, okay, if you are in a bad situation driving, stick to your guns. Trust yourself. Trust what your instincts are telling you. Okay? If you run out of batteries, I didn't have internet, bro. I went like full 1990s style through this. Don't be fucking scared. Don't be scared. Freaking yeah. So yeah, that's it. That was Jay's Roadhouse. Freaking I hope everybody had a good week. My week was kind of okay. Got to see some people. Freaking very blessed. You know what I mean? And yeah, I hope everybody has a good week ahead. So fucking A, guys. Fucking A.
Well, shit, man. That's you survived.
I survived. I think I am legitimately cursed to live sometimes. So yeah. What are you gonna do? I guess that's good for everybody that I love and love me, right? So
yeah.
What's that line from Tropic Thunder? Where is it?
Oh!
Survive. Yeah, no, that's a great clip. How was your week? How do you want me to go with my weekend?
I mean, I can go with mine.
It's up to you, man.
Same shit, different day on my end. I mean, work, gym, game, sleep, work, gym, game, sleep. Same fucking roundabout.
Oh, Squillini, I just found Jay on Facebook.
Oh God, yes. Yes. Why could I actually see that being him? He would be the nutcase that would do some shit like that just for fucking shits and giggles.
He would wear the blanket. He would wear it beautifully too.
But no, I mean outside of work and shit, fucking sat down and rewatched all the original Batman movies. Keaton, Kilmer. Even went into watching the fucking Clooney one just because at that point I'd already committed. And it really made me miss like watching the old Burton and Schumacher Batman films. Made me miss what superhero movies used to be. Because back then they weren't overdone. It wasn't an oversaturated market.
They weren't trying to be grounded.
The 89, I would argue that the 89 Tim Burton Batman was the progenitor and the original modern superhero movie. That was the first. Yeah. It's what I would call because we had Superman in the 80s, but the Christopher Reeve's Superman wasn't quite what I would call modern. Tim Burton's Batman was like the first modern superhero movie. You know what I mean?
And going from that, I mean, so we had the Tim Burton flicks, and then Burton was still on when Schumacher directed them because they were still Burton Productions, but Burton stepped down as director and Schumacher took over. Mm-hmm. So it still had that Burton flair to the movie.
Which is a wild story that you need to deep dive if you don't know.
Which honestly, I think out of any director, producer, anything like that for a Batman movie, at the time, Burton was the best choice because he knew how to make a grotesque, just dark, gruesome Gotham. Like his Gotham by far is my favorite live action depiction of Gotham that we've gotten on screen because it really embodies the Gotham City from the fucking comics.
It absolutely captures the Gothic Victorian style. You know what I mean? Like that.
Exactly.
Well, if you go back and you watch the animated series, Batman the animated series was functionally based off of Tim Burton's universe, basically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah. Watched.
I love that too because Billy D. Williams was Harvey Dent too.
He was.
He was Harvey Dent up until the third movie, and that was when Schumacher came in, and they decided to
race change him.
They decided to go back to comic accurate to a degree with Tommy Lee Jones as Harvey Dent / Two-Face.
And Jim Carrey as the Riddler.
I thought that was great casting, though. I stand by that.
For the 90s. It worked for the 90s. I would if I had it to do over
So there's actually a little bit of background on that though. So initially it was going to be Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face no matter what. But Riddler was going to originally be Robin Williams.
That's right.
That would have been interesting.
And Chris O'Donnell wasn't going to play Robin. It was going to be fucking Marlon Wayans.
That's right.
Interesting.
They were going to they did the whole race swap with Harvey Dent, so they were going to swap it and make Dick Grayson.
I kind of like what Lost in the Sauce is saying here. That Carey would have played a better Joker. He very much. I think back in the 90s, it would have been interesting to see an updated Joker or a new Joker because Jack Nicholson. Let's just put it out there. He nailed it. He nailed the Joker in the original Batman. But like Jim Carrey, if they were gonna like redo the Joker, he in those early days, like maybe the mid to late 90s, he really might have.
I think he would give it justice now with his experience.
Well, it's probably in the same manner that Joaquin Phoenix did a different version of the Joker than
Ledger.
But the 90s weren't like that. We weren't making movies like that where you update shit every fucking 3 or 5 years. You know what I mean? So like, it wasn't like that back then. So that's continue what you're saying, Joe. I'm sorry.
So, I still say by far best live action Batman / Bruce Wayne, Michael Keaton. Hands down, he embodied both Bruce Wayne and Batman. If we're going overall with all the live actions we've gotten, Christian Bale, great Batman. His Bruce Wayne was crap. Affleck, just crap. Pattinson, and that movie was.
I didn't have a problem. I didn't have a problem with Pattinson. I had a problem with the fucking movie. Like that. Exactly. That was really like my biggest thing was like that movie fucking sucked. Like that.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Exactly. That entire movie sucked.
And they're making a fucking sequel. And they're making a fucking sequel right now.
Let's not get into this because we argue about this all the fucking time.
Now, I am looking forward to, and I'm not going to go see it in theaters because I've seen bad reviews for the new Flash movie. I am looking forward to it because they actually did some archive digging. They did some archive digging for this. Obviously, we get Keaton back as Batman, and Affleck comes back as Batman in the Flash. But there's one other Batman that's in it.
Yeah, I don't know. I know who it is. I know Lost know who it is.
Go ahead and throw a spoiler up.
I don't know. Yeah, let's
put a spoiler warning on there.
Spoiler warning up. Yeah.
Because I'm about to go into some casting stuff, and if people haven't watched the movie yet or gone on IMDb to see some of this shit, it's gonna spoil a few cameos and stuff that happen in the movie.
Stuff that Jay is definitely not going to give a crap about, regardless.
Well, I know you're not, but for anybody else out there watching,
I know.
It's not for you. Fuck you, Jay.
There we go. There it is. Attaboy.
So Clooney made a cameo appearance in The Flash as Batman, and then Nicolas Cage as Superman, because they were in the process of writing and prepping a movie called Superman Legacy
Yep.
where
Kevin
Nicolas
Smith.
Cage,
Kevin Smith wrote it.
where Nicolas Cage, it was a Tim Burton Superman film.
That would have
because
really
his Batman movies were doing so well in the early 90s. They were going to do a Superman one. Nicolas Cage was supposed to play fucking Superman. So they go in the archives and they get Cage to come and cameo in the fucking movie as Superman.
Can I add in something about that scene too? There's a stand-up show with Kevin Smith where he talks about the writing of that movie, and that there was a certain producer named John Peters who was a hairdresser turned producer at the time, and everyone didn't understand why he wanted spiders in every film that he wanted. And so the plot of the film had him fighting a giant spider. Squilini, can you elaborate? Do you know the scene that was put in the movie?
No.
It's Nicolas Cage fighting a giant spider. As written from the original script.
It's a Brainiac spider.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So that kind of bringing Brainiac into it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
But so we had Nicolas Cage as Superman. They used deep fake and they brought George Reeves and Christopher Reeves back as Superman.
Helen Slater.
I can't wait to watch that.
Then
it
was Helen Slater's Supergirl made a cameo in it.
I was gonna say whenever that hits YouTube, I can't wait to see that on YouTube. That'll probably.
I think it is on YouTube. That's how we know about it.
I grew up on Christopher Reeves and Supergirl and fucking, you know what I mean? I grew up on that shit. So that's
I
want to watch the movie. Yeah. I want to watch the movie. I'm just not going to pay movie theater prices to go see it. It'll be on HBO Max in a month or so, or Max as it is now called. I'm still calling it fucking HBO Max. It'll be on there soon since it is a Warner Brothers production and DC's entire library's up there. So once it comes to that, I'll end up watching it. Because I'm really interested to see how they play out the whole Flashpoint paradox with this movie. Because that's really what they're going for with the Flash, is it's kind of the end all to the old DC universe before the new universe comes into play that James Gunn's in the process of doing. Which, speaking of which, they finally announced the new Superman for the new Superman movie, Superman Legacy or whatever.
What do you think about that? I've been wanting to ask you about what you thought. I'm actually kind of curious to hear your thoughts that they chose the actors that they chose.
I've never heard of this guy before.
Me neither.
So what do you guys think of it? Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
So here's my thing. So we're rebooting the entire DC extended universe or DC cinematic universe
again.
So
again.
This is technically the third time.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
But I agree with Lost here, because it's one of those things where we're getting people we haven't seen before. We don't have a lot of knowledge of their background, what they've done. They might have, starred in fucking indie films and television shows and shit like that.
Maybe even plays too. Maybe some of these people are.
Because let's go into Marvel for a second here. Look at Hemsworth. Until he played Thor, he never really had any big roles.
You're right.
He literally was Australian soap operas. Well, he was on daytime TV in Australia.
Yeah,
Hugh Jackman as well.
He was in fucking Cabin in the Woods. You know what I mean? But it wasn't until he became fucking Thor that he popped. You know what I mean? He finally popped.
Lost.
So
hey man, what are you gonna do? Wonder Woman can do some wonderful things, man, with them gams. Yep. Wonderful things with them gams.
Bringing these lesser known actors in is really going to help, because we might get better performances out of them than we did Affleck and Cavill and Miller and stuff like that.
Someone who has something to prove.
Yeah.
Somebody's hungry. Still fucking hungry inside.
Exactly. Not somebody that's got millions of dollars in the bank already because they've had a successful fucking acting career, and then
Yeah.
Right.
I want to play Batman. Like Affleck tried too hard with Batman because he tried to make up for fucking Daredevil. Because Daredevil fucking was so crap that Affleck felt he had to prove himself to the nerd community that he tried too hard with his Batman.
You know, I keep on hearing about like Aquaman's like Momoa still being Aquaman, and I'm just like, when are we just gonna get him as fucking Lobo as already?
Because they're not gonna make. I would rather see Momoa.
Dude, I'm telling you right, it's because it's too good of an idea. It's because it would work, John.
Yeah,
it's like it's like it's like they how many years did they fucking not do Daredevil? And when they put or not Daredevil, Deadpool, and when they put Deadpool in the fucking X-Men movies, they fucking ruined it, right? And then as soon as they let somebody who actually knew what the fucking character was like fucking do it the right way, it fucking exploded.
Yeah,
it's like, what do I always tell you about the Punisher? Like there are some extremely like good stories that are already like it's based. You already have the storyboards. It's like Sin City. It's just do it off the comic. You know what I mean? And you can make these like awesome 2-hour movies, and a lot of it is going to be like the Punisher's like internal monologue. You don't fucking see that shit in the movies though, do you? You just don't.
No.
And like fucking bah. Go ahead, Joe.
But see, and Deadpool's a very good point with all this. So, you know, Ryan Reynolds was cast as Wade Wilson / Deadpool in X-Men Origins Wolverine. They fucked it up. Completely. Reynolds was pissed off.
Oh, yeah.
The fans were pissed off. The fans said, make Reynolds fucking Wilson. Let's keep Reynolds as Deadpool, but give him his own fucking movie.
Yeah.
And let's do it the right way. And Reynolds pushed and pushed and pushed with Sony and Fox and pushed. And then we got, and he
still had to make
leaked the fucking screen test for the movie. And I'm sorry, that was fucking Reynolds. Reynolds totally fucking leaked that shit. I don't care whether he denies it up one side and down the other. He leaked it because they were gonna backburner his Deadpool.
Yep.
So he fucking said, fuck you, hit the nuclear button to leak that shit. They saw how big of a fucking fans lost their shit. And the next thing you know, we're going on the fucking third movie.
Hugh Jackman is going to be in it.
And they were able to get Jackman out of fucking retirement as Wolverine to come into the third movie.
Again. Yeah, but it's perfect. That's how you keep the fucking fans happy. The fans are the ones that have read the fucking shit. The fans are the ones that are already familiar with the material. We don't need an origin every time you bring in every time you bring in a new superhero that's never had a movie made of him. We don't need a fucking origin story every time. I'm so sick of that shit. It's so played out.
Yeah,
like just give the fans what the fuck they want.
Well, exactly, and that's the thing. So yeah, Deadpool 1 kind of gave us an origin story. That's fine because it was our first live action Deadpool movie. It's not like we'd seen Deadpool on the big screen 40 fucking times before that.
And they did it right, and they made it funny. So it was like it didn't detract from the story. It didn't detract from the story at all. You know what I mean? It's like,
where's Francis?
That shit's fucking hilarious, dude. Like the whole fucking movie, dude.
So I just, it's one of those things like, okay, we all already knew Ryan Reynolds, but Ryan Reynolds, because of his comedic prowess, was perfect for Deadpool.
God, yes.
So
him
being cast as Deadpool was one thing, but for like Superman, Batman, all the other like mainstream characters going forward with like DC, it's best to go with no names, let them build a career, and make sure you're doing it right. And here's the thing. I have faith in James Gunn because look at the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Look at fucking the last Suicide Squad movie. Look at fucking...
Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey. Birds of Prey was a fun movie. I liked Birds of Prey. Yeah, that was.
But like, so the last Suicide Squad movie where Peacemaker first came into play when John Cena played Peacemaker.
So good.
That was James Gunn.
That
was Peacemaker, the show, fucking hilarious show.
Which remember, if you go back when I first reviewed it, it went from a 2 to a 12. Do you remember that, Jay?
Yeah.
When I first started the show,
You were like, "What the fuck is this?"
I was like, it was a rating number 2, and when it ended, it was a 12. It was crazy.
The first 2 episodes just were fucking really slow. Like, the fuck are we doing here? And then it just got good. And then the last episode, when they're all walking away and the fucking Justice League makes their cameo, and he's like, "Where the fuck have you guys been, assholes?"
Hey, what service is that one on? What streaming service is that one on?
Max.
Max. Okay. I might have to tickle my pickle a little bit.
And
It's been a little bit.
Amount of times
I watched that.
The amount of times he poked fun at fucking Aquaman for fucking fish during that show was just great.
That's fucking awesome.
But like James Gunn, he's done good things in the comic book realm because the Guardians of the Galaxy movies were great. Suicide Squad, his Suicide Squad, not the first one. The first one with fucking Leto as fucking Joker, and that was garbage. I do like Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. She does a good Harley Quinn.
Absolutely.
So if we could keep Robbie as Harley Quinn, I'm fine with that. But James Gunn coming in, taking over Suicide Squad. Now we're getting the spin-off series of Peacemaker. From there, we're getting another spin-off series for Amanda Waller.
We're all which I hope they keep the actress who was obviously was a Peacemaker who played Amanda Waller to continue that role, which originally Oprah Winfrey they were going to give that role to her.
I think Viola Davis though is she's great as fucking Waller. So, it's just that's how it is. It's, we've gotten all these fucking superhero movies. A lot of fucking comic fans are jaded.
Authority.
But, the
James
Authority.
Gunn James Gunn has a comic book coming out called The Authority. I read that when it had first come out. When I was younger, and it's kind of like the DC Comics version of The Boys.
Okay.
And they're doing an animated series on HBO Max for that comic series.
Yeah. Cool. Yep. And they're also doing Lanterns, which I'm super excited for. I gotta say, I've been noticing the ripples in the water of like DC kind of like having a little bit of a resurgence, and I think it's a direct result of like Marvel being so like fucking oversaturated. Like, so if DC plays their cards right, they might actually make something of this fucking like third reboot, basically, if they're smart. Yeah. If they're smart, you give the fans what they want, and they will fucking show up. If you keep jerking everybody off, they're gonna keep walking away. You know what I mean?
That's where I think that's where I circle back again to James Gunn. Them bringing Gunn in to Gunn and Safran in to take over the fucking studio. Somebody that's willing to make changes and do things that are he's got a good set of cojones on him, and he's not afraid to fucking do things.
Right. Just big old meaty balls, dude, like in your mouth.
He's gonna come in and
Lost in the Sauce. I'm still gonna go see Joker 2, even though they've announced it's going to be a musical, just because the first Joker with Joaquin Phoenix was fucking phenomenal. I hope they don't fuck it up too much with it being a musical.
I think it's going to be. I think the way that it's going to be put out is going to be in the perspective of their minds, and I think that was what's going to make the film interesting.
I think I have a theory myself, and it's I remember very vividly that there were a lot of questions surrounding what Joker was going to be what it was actually going to be like, because we kept getting like the still shots from the set and stuff like this, and there was a leaked video of him dancing on the fucking stairs, during like that famous scene. And it was like
in New Jersey.
Nobody had a fucking clue like what this movie was actually going to look like. And then when it came out, everybody was like, "Oh shit. Like, holy fuck. Really?" Yep. You know what I mean? Like, and I think the sequel is like, I'm really intrigued for the sequel. I'm very intrigued.
And what I really liked with Joker was it tackled the topic of mental health in America
in a time where it didn't exist, in the time where people didn't feel that it existed too.
That's correct.
Mm-hmm.
That's correct.
God damn.
So
God damn.
Man.
John, what you got for us?
Man, and it's funny too because when I think of that Joker movie, I think of the places that it was filmed, like in New Jersey and New York, and and how that gritty look. And we were, my wife and I went to New York City this weekend,
Okay.
and let me
Okay.
tell you, man, it was beautiful. It was fun. It was beautiful weather.
Did you guys have a good time?
Oh, we had a great time. To start off, we took the train. We took the train in. Unfortunately for Jay, he didn't get to experience a super fast train from New York to New Jersey in a matter of what, 30, 40 minutes, maybe? It's like 30, 40 minutes. The train got us in there. Now, we could have driven into Staten Island, taken the ferry, and then taken the train up. But lo and behold, my wife and I didn't even bother taking the subway this weekend at all. We got to see downtown Manhattan, like the government and business district, all the way up to Central Park because we rented the City Bike.
What's that?
The City Bike is owned by the global conglomerate Citibank. Jay's favorite thing to talk about. And dude, if you go to New York City, don't pay for a taxi. Don't don't bother walking around or paying $8 a minute for the wagons that they pull you around in horses in. Nope, don't do that. $20 for the whole day, and you get to rent a bike. $20, that's it.
For a bicycle?
For a bicycle. Now
is it an e-bike or is it just a regular bike?
They give you the options. So the regular bikes, which are perfect for going downtown, for going downhill, much better option. I would say, my wife and I, that's, we chose to use the e-bikes because we've never used e-bikes before. And that experience alone was actually really cool because when you're going uphill with them, you're not using a lot of your leg strength because the bike is doing most of the work for you. My thighs are killing me still to this day. I'm not even going to lie about that, but it doesn't take away the fact that it makes transportation in New York City that much easier and faster. I mean, we went from Chinatown to 34th Street in a matter of 16 minutes.
Okay.
And
this mush into muscle.
And now the best part about New York City with the bikes is that there's bike lanes, legal bike lanes, and some of these lanes are literally in between the car lanes. So you're riding directly with traffic and you're following, they have lights for the bikes that you have to follow, specific roads that you have to ride. You're not supposed to ride against the bike traffic. I've seen a couple people do it. I think in the middle of Times Square, Midtown Manhattan is the worst place to do that shit. Because
that sounds a little spooky, being on a bike surrounded by cars, and if you like eat shit, you just immediately get ran over.
The car part wasn't scary because the lanes were big enough for the bikes. Like you have enough space to kind of like swerve around.
Or if you accidentally eat shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. And so they took it to account. But the thing that's scary is that if you're going up, like once you get to Central Park, the lanes start going different directions, and then that's when the scary shit happens, and you're crossing through the bus lanes, and you're trying to get to a safe spot to, to figure out where you're gonna go.
It's like Jay driving through a fucking derecho.
Yeah. So I mean that part was great. I mean, we went into Central Park. We smoked up on this big rock, and it's funny because I sent the picture to you guys. Everyone on this rock was just smoking. They were just smoking. And last second, right before we left, there was this giant rat like this big that crossed right like by my wife's foot. And she was like, all right, we're done. Let's get out of here. And then we got into like this wild conversation about how all these murders happen in Central Park, and they're not just like, calm, regular stabbings or people falling by accident. They're brutal murders. You still see these people jogging in the middle of the street. It's very questionable. One of the major highlights that me and my wife had such a great night. We went to a gay club in Midtown Manhattan. We were trying to figure out something to do. We were trying to have a good time, and we went to one. We went in there. We had some soda. We had some water to keep ourselves hydrated, and we danced a little bit. Now, great. I can't remember the name of the place. It was something saloon. Was it something saloon, right, baby? Lucky Saloon. It was I remember the address. So the address was on 50th. It was like 50th and
something or other.
West 50th Street, right? It must have been like Lucky Saloon, and we went in there. The moment you come in, my wife were crocking it up the whole time in New York City. We crocked it up, all right.
What does that mean?
We wore Crocs, man. We were, and I forced my wife to buy a pair for herself too. So now all 5 of us in this household are Croc wearers. So we go in and
as I put on my combat boots, something in the way. Sorry, John. Go ahead.
Something's in my ass.
I always have that one prepared. So we're having a good time, and we're just okay. We're good. It's a little hot. Let's go get something to eat, and which we fed ourselves with dollar pizzas all weekend. Okay,
oh, fuck yeah, bro.
And as we're leaving, there's this dude. First off, we saw a guy fall off a pole. He started dancing on the pole and he fell off. And as we were leaving, there was this dude standing I must have been like 6. Me and my wife were like 6 feet away, right? This dude's dick was at our faces. Like he was standing on the table, and this dude's, I don't know if it was his leg or his cock or his it was so fucking big that you're walking out, there was no way that you could not notice this, okay? Yeah, oh, yep. Thank you, Squillini. It was the Flaming Shadow Saloon. Yep.
Google's your friend, John.
Google is my friend.
Now I've got to clear my fucking search history. Thank you.
This dude's the size of this dude. I thought it was his leg, but he was wearing one of those silky cock sock type thong things.
God damn
and it was let me tell you, it was a great time. But this dude's dick was so big. It was just hard not to notice it as you're walking out. And we're just like, oh my God.
Shut up, bitch.
We were just a little late for the drag show. We just missed the drag show, but that's okay. We still had a good time.
It was a nanner hammock.
Yeah. Now the rest of the city. Now I saw people with lost fingers. We saw someone shooting heroin right in front of the Port Authority. It was like, oh, New York. That's just what it is. And
not New York if you don't see somebody freaking banging H, bro. I mean, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna fucking do?
But for a 4th of July weekend, it was crazy.
Cool. Did you see anything? Did you see anything like 4th of July related or anything?
We didn't see anything 4th of July related. We saw 2 Chainz driving, which was fucking cool.
Saw what? Wait,
2 Chainz. 2 Chainz.
Who's that?
2 Chainz?
He's a rapper.
Yeah. Have you ever? You don't watch Vice. Never mind. He's a rapper, and he does this show called The Most Expensivest, and he goes on the show and he talks shit about people. Why do you spend all this money on all this shit? Right? It's actually a really good show.
I can get behind that.
So what we have is
whoops. Let me pull. Oh, there he is. Yep. Thank you, Squillini.
I can get behind that part. I like that.
He goes in and he's just like, well, why the fuck are you spending $50,000 on this thing? And he'll still buy it. He'll still buy it because he's got the money, but he'll question why is this so expensive? I think one episode was a wine decanter.
And he does a lot of shows on Vice where it's trying different cannabis products, ways to ingest cannabis, machines that just automatically take a whole bud and extract the oil for cooking, and then he'll try different foods with cannabis oil in it and shit, and just gets completely fucked up.
And you'll see the camera will focus on him the moment he gets lost, this camera just zooms right on in his face. He's just like, what's going on now? But yeah, New York, I have to say, the city bikes are a 10 out of 10. I'm telling you guys, if you're in the city area and your city has rented bikes, it's the way to go. It truly is the way to go. Whether the e-bikes were charging 23 cents a minute, which kind of sucked, but it was actually kind of worth it.
Going uphill probably helped out a lot.
Mm-hmm. It was fun. New York, as always, gets a 12 out of 10 in my book. I love New York City.
All right. All right.
But now I played. We'll get to gaming. We'll segue into the gaming soon. TV shows. So we finally finished Silo, which is the show about a couple thousand people who are in a silo. They don't know why they're there. They don't know how they got there. They don't know what the fuck is going on, but they live a civilized life. The show ended. I'm giving it with mysteries and a major cliffhanger. This show, I'm honestly giving it a 9 out of 10.
Okay.
Apple TV Plus has done it again with another banger of a show with such a good story that from what I understand and from what I've read, kept true to the original books.
Okay.
With very minimal changes as far as turning it into a mystery thriller. Instead of things becoming blatant, which is very good. Great cast, great cliffhanger at the end. I can't wait to see what happens in the next show. Yellowstone's over. I've been talking about it the whole time. I'm gonna give it a 6.5 out of 10. The
is that
ending,
overall? Is that overall or for
that's for the ending of that season.
Okay.
Oh, bless you. You're welcome. Because that ending really broke, I guess, the spirit of what the show actually was. We don't know what the hell's going on. I always said that there was always convoluted storylines that I always questioned, like Monica's and Tate's. They very short storylines without bless you, without proper answers. It's
Fleshing it out.
When Tate gets older, is he bless you? Oh my god! Sorry. Holy shit! 12 more and it'll be an orgasm. And is there going to be? Is it going to come back to bite Monica's ass with the dude that she was messing around with? Is taken to have ramifications from the kidnapping.
Right.
There's
a lot of shit going on. It's starting to get a little Game of Thronesy here. You know what I mean?
It is. If you want my predictions, I think we are going to see a red wedding soon. If you know what I'm talking about for a specific situation,
fucking purge.
We know that we know that shows are coming out, but yeah, 6.5 out of 10. I want to see how this ends, and my rating will change
based on
by the way it ends.
Based on what they do.
And I mean, we're gonna watch it week by week when it comes out. This is gonna be super exciting.
Oh, and while I'm thinking about it, they confirmed the Peaky Blinders finale is going to be a 2-hour movie. And it will be released in theaters.
So right now I'm trying to I think we're gonna go back into Peaky Blinders because we're gonna start Dead City for The Walking Dead, which we're super excited about because it's a New York show now. I think we're gonna go back to Peaky Blinders.
It gets slow at times, and there are certain story elements that kind of are just like a little meh. But by the time you get to the last couple of seasons, it's like you're like, oh my fucking god, what? And you don't necessarily expect that it's going to go where it goes. And then, even though you might be a little disappointed in that expectation, the way it fucking goes into the ending is like, oh fucking shit, and it's perfectly sets up. I'm really looking forward to the 2-hour finale of a fucking movie that's coming out. So,
yep. So, yeah. And that's all I have for shows. But are you ready to get into some of my gaming reviews?
Yes. What are you gonna start with?
What you got, Squilini?
So I was going to say, you want to go first? You want to go tech first? Because I really do want to talk about
Let's talk about that because I know Jay wants to talk about that. We may go a little over today. Fuck it, because we do have a lot to talk about. I want to know. I don't know the full context of the story, so break it down for me.
So this morning, actually, while I was getting ready for us to go live, I was doing my typical, made my coffee, grabbed my bowl of oatmeal, came in the office, got in, pulled up YouTube, and first 5 videos on my fucking feed are about the Go XLR and TC Helicon and how the Go XLR is going to be dead here soon. And I've been looking at Twitter, checking all that. I've got buddies that are streaming that have this device. They're like, so what the fuck are we going to do if shit just bugs out since they're not going to be releasing any updates anymore or whatnot? So it's a big thing in the streaming community right now. So TC Helicon, the company behind the Go XLR and the Go XLR Mini, which John, if you can, let's pull up a picture of the device.
I got you.
Should have already had one pulled up.
Do you want a specific product, or do you want like?
Pull up the Go XLR.
Got you. Products.
All right, real quick, while they're pulling up their tech shit, I just want you guys already know what the fuck I'm gonna say about this shit. So like, just prepare your freaking ear holes, freaking for when they pause. Because go ahead and explain what we're looking at,
so
and then go. Yeah.
Well, so it's that audio interface, John. Yep, right there. And then Go XLR. So this device right here, what this is it's an audio mixer that you can plug an XLR microphone in. So XLR microphones are more professional quality microphones that use a specialized cable. Usually musicians, recording studios, stuff like that use those. And they have these big mixing boards in those environments. Well, this company came out with this device for content creators. And on the content creator side, what this does is it allows you to use your XLR microphone and plug it into your PC, and then you've got an audio mixer, soundboard, voice changers, all built into one device.
Which in effect, that does look pretty handy dandy if like that's the kind of shit that you're doing. So like I do want to say that the product itself looks pretty fly.
I didn't know it did that. I had no idea that it did that. That's cool.
Yeah. So the product itself is a great handy device.
Sure.
Now there's other competitor devices on the market now. Razer made the Razer audio mixer, which is pretty much a clone of
just
the
weight
mini
loss
version of this.
Just weight loss. That's what we're talking about. There's not going to be a dollar amount on it because they're fucking bricking it, bro. They're bricking it.
So with this device, what happened over the past couple days or late last week / this weekend, the company that makes the Go XLR laid off the entire development team behind the firmware, software, and hardware for this device. So this is the Go XLR Mini. Pause right here, John. No.
Oh, go
right
back
where
to
it was
Mini?
at.
Yeah, the nerd guy.
So,
go back to the nerd.
So this is the XLR Mini. This is just a very small, simplified version of the Go XLR. This has not all the features this does. This pretty much just has the mixer. Well, Razer took this device, the XLR Mini, and made the Razer audio mixer. So it's literally a clone of the same device.
Right.
And then there's other devices out there. Me and John use the Beacon products where they're fully USB, and the people that made the Beacon products, our microphone and our audio mixers, made the were actually part of the development team for the initial launch of this device right here, of the Go XLR. And the thing is, they killed the development team for this device. So we're not going to get any software going forward. There is a small community of.
Will it still work? Will it still work on its own?
It'll work.
Will there be support?
Until what? What makes this thing officially become a brick, and how long will it be until that happens?
So really what's going to do that is when Microsoft updates their operating system again. So right now we're finishing up like Windows 10 support, which is the last Microsoft operating system just fully ended. Now we're on Windows 11. And Microsoft has already announced Windows 12 is coming by 2024.
Oh my God, are you serious?
You can't keep doing that shit. It's fucking stupid. That's what, like, Windows 10 is still working fine on my goddamn laptop. I don't need all that fucking shit.
But see, here's the thing. So Windows 10 is still working fine right now for you.
Yeah, I know. I know.
There's no longer support on Microsoft's end So companies are going to stop updating their software to work with Windows 10, forcing you to have to go to 11.
If I work for company, if I work for companies,
even Google Chrome will stop working.
That's fucking stupid.
Even
Oh my fucking God. Oh my God. Corporations are not your fucking friend. God damn it. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, but if you look,
so there are
people spent $700 on this fucking piece of shit, and they're already bricking it, and they're already fucking bricking it.
That was something else. The thing. That was another
the
product.
the Go XLR actually was $700 also. But there's other companies out on the market like Rode, who's a huge audio company. They make a lot of microphones for studios and stuff like that, who have similar products like the Rodecaster 2, which was shown right before John stopped sharing his screen. So there's plenty of other products out there, but for the content creators that got into making content and streaming at the height of COVID, that's when the Go XLR really picked up and sales got there. The problem is TC Helicon wasn't seeing enough sales of their product. And here's why. They never marketed the fucking product. The only way people knew that product existed was because other content creators were already using that product. So they were like, hey, if Kim the Tapman, if Nick Merckx, if Ninja, if all these big time streamers and content creators are using this mixer for their audio interface for their streams, then it's a really good product. I'm going to go ahead and invest in it.
Dude,
then you've got guys like me who I'm like, no, I'm not going to spend that.
It's corporate greed. It's just greedy. Like, that's all they are. Is like, they don't. It's like same as the DC universe. It's same as like making Marvel movies that are actually worth a fuck to watch. You know what I mean? It's like these motherfuckers in their suits and their fucking ivory towers don't have a fucking finger on the pulse.
So
they have no pulse. They're soulless suckers of Satan's cock. All of them.
So that's the thing. So I've got buddies that ask me, well, what do you suggest for audio mixing? What do you suggest for a microphone? John was one of them earlier this year.
I remember that.
I stand by Beacon.
I have buddies that were like, hey, I'm going to buy a Go XLR and get the Shure SM7B. And I'm like, dope. I will 100%. And we are not in any way, shape, or form affiliated or sponsored by this company.
Would love to, though.
Beacon. We would love it. We would love it. I would love it for Tech Guy Gaming. John would like it for Queen Sanchez Media.
God.
We would love it for DD214 Network, because maybe then we can get Jay some decent sounding fucking mic quality.
But
this company right here, Beacon, it's all USB. The mic, phenomenal quality. You can tell a difference if you go back and watch when I first came on the show, and then when I ventured into being on the show with John and Jay, when we became the 3Js.
The 3Js, that's my favorite.
I had the Elgato Wave 3 mic, and my sound was decent. I then got lucky enough to have Beacon send me my mic and the Beacon Mix Create to test and review. And now I will tell everybody and anybody that's getting into content creation, you don't need thousands of dollars worth of equipment for good sounding audio.
The Beacon Mix is only $149. You know, the mic, $279, a little pricey, but you are literally and like a lot of people have said it, like the mic, these mics are specifically made for what they're good for. Now, what I love about Beacon, it's just
they're now releasing different colored foam.
This.
So literally the windsock, and you're going to hear a lot of weird noise for a second here. Literally this piece right here, you can buy different colors now. Of course, they only have 3. You can get a new black replacement, you can get purple or red, but Beacon has announced they're going to do other colors. I'm waiting for him to come with a blue one. And yes, the microphone was $280. I didn't pay for mine. I got lucky. I was an early adopter and got lucky and linked up with the right people and got mine for free. But John can contest. Probably the best $300 he spent.
Oh yeah, for this whole like, I'm not mad. I'm not mad, and I recommend it to so many people too. And shit, it's just, I see everybody with Beacon, and not just that, but their mixer. It doesn't take up a lot of space. I have so much goddamn space on my desk because of these things. Oh.
Hold
on. Good for him. Good for him. I get it.
Oh man.
Here, let me do this. I'm gonna pull up
fucking Go XLR, literally fucking firing everybody. They said fuck you.
So let me do screen right here. So I'm going to share this.
Joined.
So literally,
yep, there it
you
is.
can see my Stream Deck XL and then the mixer. Very limited amount of space it takes up on the desk. Where, just unplug my keyboard for a second here. And we're going to stop sharing now. Where literally the Go XLR is 3 of my keyboard put together. So if you really look at the amount of space you're saving and the amount of money you're saving by going with Beacon's products over the Go XLR.
Well, if they're going to fucking brick it anyways, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
What the shit? Like, this has been my argument the whole time. If you're playing video games and the video game doesn't come with a disc, if you have to fucking link up with the internet to play your fucking game, just to fucking play the game, you know what I mean? Like, if they decide to stop fucking, shut the servers down, the game ends completely. Like the direction all this shit has been going is so ridiculous, and I don't understand how the general populace like bought into all this bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, I really don't understand it, because everything is just so expendable now. And it's like, well, what happens when the game ends? What happens if I want to like play a game that I played 20 years ago? Well, the servers are down and you can't connect to the internet, so game over. There is no, there's no going back to the old save games like on the Xboxes and the PlayStations. Like there's not going to be any of that. Like the game's just going to be over, and it's so stupid. And that's with the Go XLR that you've so diligently reported on. All I'm hearing is like another fucking corporation bricking another product just because they feel like it, because it's not doing anything for them at the moment. You know what I mean?
You're right.
It is.
There's no ROI on it. There's no return on investment with that product, so they're getting rid of it.
Well, there is a return on investment for the fucking goddamn consumer, for the customer. There isn't supposed to necessarily always be a forever return for the fucking company. That also defeats the purpose.
That's the problem with corporate America, though. If the company that makes the product isn't making any kind of ROI on it, they're going to just end of life the product and say fuck everybody that owns it.
And that is like exactly why we have got to stop as not just a fucking functioning society, like the whole fucking world needs to like pump the fucking brakes on this like out of control bullshit, dude. Like it's like, well, like they're going too fast and they're putting shit out and then they're pulling it back, and it's like, dude, hold the fucking phone. Like, just give us what we need. We not necessarily always what we want. Just give us what we need and let us start there again. You know what I mean? Like I'm saying, you have everything you need basically right now, right? Like,
and that's where I being the tech person for the podcast, being
you're the smart
so enveloped in tech and all that. That's where I look at companies before I buy a product. I research.
Right.
That's why if you look at my desk, if you look at the equipment I use on a daily basis, I have 2 companies I use: Corsair and Beacon. Because my key lights that light my face are made by Elgato. Elgato is owned by Corsair. My Stream Deck, where all my fancy hotkeys and buttons are and my sounds and shit. Elgato. Same company as Corsair. My camera, Elgato. My mouse and keyboard, Corsair. I've got a foot pedal. That lets me have extra buttons also that I can just reach my foot down and tap. Corsair. My entire PC case, fans, everything, Corsair.
Corsair.
Because those companies have been around the longest and have had the least amount of issues with their products, and they keep innovating. They don't care if, say this year they come out with something and by next year they have a better way to do it. I know the fucking products are going to fucking be good for 10 years.
If Corsair told me to bend over twice, I'd do it 6 times.
You fucking bitch.
I love Corsair. And I give a big shout out to Squillini for.
Absolutely. I do really appreciate kind of like these tech updates, because like I love it. Good job, Joe. Good job.
And I like to report on this stuff, especially because we do have those who watch, like Brandon Cleary, Max Mraz, Iron Bjorn, who are content creators and streamers also. Absolutely. And providing these updates on the podcast, let people know, hey, this is what's fucking going on. I'm the guy that everybody's like, okay, what the fuck's happening? What's going on in the tech space?
Well, and there's a whole thing, I don't understand a lot of this stuff. And a lot of times on a normal day that ends in Y, I don't fucking care. But when you're talking about it, it gives me a different perspective, because you actually give a fuck about it. And that give a fuck comes out when you're talking about it. And that's what I like. That's what I like hearing, that you actually do care about what you're talking about. You know what the fuck you're talking about. You have done your research. Okay. That sucks me in as a complete, like, nonconformist fucking, I've had this laptop for, I think, 3 years now. You know what I mean? And I'm not getting rid of it anytime fucking soon. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just like I'm a minimalist. So like,
and that's another thing. Like, as you can see behind me, my printer, the printer I have, I don't have a standard fucking home printer you go to Walmart and buy. I went to a fucking office supply store and I purchased a fucking business class printer that uses fucking toner cartridges, because I'm tired of fucking printers sucking my fucking wallet dry on fucking ink cartridges. I buy one toner cartridge a year and I can print everything and anything I need to for a fucking year for $80. Where with fucking standard ink printers that you can buy at Walmart,
well, hold on,
it's cheaper to buy a new fucking printer.
Hold on. How much fucking printing do you do? Just out of curiosity.
It's more the fiance, because she's in grad school.
Fair response. Okay. That's it. I was just like, I started doing the math in my head, because we don't have your fucking, R2D2 shit fucking, but we have a printer at our house. And like, I started doing the math and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Like my brain broke for a second.
No, with her in grad school,
with
her in grad school, that's a better option.
Makes perfect sense.
If she wasn't in grad school and we just were both standard working fucking adults, did our day jobs, I did my fucking evening job with the content and shit, and then the podcast, I would probably just buy a cheap ass $50 fucking HP printer from Walmart.
Bro, like I printed something off last night. I think that was the first time I printed anything in about like at least 2 months. At least 2 months. You know what I mean? Like I printed one page of one thing last night, and that was like the first page I've used in a printer for like 60 days, probably. So yeah, I was just curious. So yeah, good shit.
Yep. And
but I guess on to Xbox.
Yeah, let's get into some
gaming
stuff.
Let's fucking go.
So I'm going to leave Starfield for last, but I want to start off with some reviews real quick.
Let's hear it.
To start off, I played a fuck ton of games. I don't know. Actually, I'm going to start off with Only Up. Okay. Only Up is an original idea. I think I'm trying to figure out what the world record is right now.
I'll be right back, guys. I'll be right back.
All right.
So the world record is 17 minutes and 4 seconds. Squillini, I know you've gotten a whiff of this? Have you?
I've yet to play Only Up. I've seen a lot of gameplay. I've watched Tim the Tatman. I've watched several other streamers playing it, both big and little. I have yet to play it myself. It's on my to get list.
Yeah, so it's pretty cheap. It's $10. I personally enjoy it. I enjoy the challenge of it, but it is fucking aggravating. When I tell you aggravating, when you fall hard. And this isn't my gameplay here. I don't know whose gameplay this is, to be honest with you. I just pulled up some YouTube stuff, but there's a trick to it. The guys jumping on the beds and stuff like that. But you're pretty much just going around through an obstacle, and the only direction that you have to go is up. This guy is wild, but I'm studying his tactics at the same time. You actually, one of the cool features that you have, you can actually slow your timing down if you hold the R button on your mouse. Yeah, it's a mini heart attack that slowly grows with each level you go up. And if that's not telling you anything, it's absolutely true. When you fall, you don't get any fall damage, you don't die or anything. You're just going up. And that's really all there is to say about this game. That you're
it's one of those, it takes skill, but at the same time, it doesn't take a lot. It takes skill, obviously, just from watching the fucking gameplay there. And I like a challenge, so I think I might end up spending the fucking $10 to get it, just to take on the challenge and see. But what else? What else we got?
So I actually want to talk about this. So I haven't gotten a chance to play it, but I've been able to see a lot of friends play the shit out of this game. AEW fight. That is CM Punk. He is in the game. CM Punk is in the game, and so I haven't played the game, but I want to talk about it because I've been able to see a lot of gameplay from close friends, like Lost in the Fuck here. I got to see them play this extensively, and got some really honest opinions about it. The number that was given to me, I think, was a 7 out of 10 of this game.
I like the old nostalgia look of it.
Yes, that's a big selling point of the game. But do know that if this is a game that you expect to create a character and do a whole thing about it, that's not what this game is for. Yes, it has a creation suite, but it's pretty base. You know what I mean? But that's
not like 2K games.
Yeah, but it doesn't take away from what the game actually is. It focuses more on gameplay than it does aesthetic, meaning entrances and things of the other, and that's okay. That's okay, because they found the game, they made a game that was just to bring your mind back into it, and I appreciate that. Now, I ended up not getting this one because I ended up getting 6 Days in Fallujah, which I'll talk about right before Starfield. But what's up?
Let's save 6 days for once Jay's back then.
Yeah, because he's gonna like this. Because I have some really cool points about that.
Which I actually ended up having to refund 6 days due to a little overspending. So I just needed
yeah.
But I'm gonna pick it back up here in a couple weeks. So I do want to talk about while we're waiting on Jay.
Yeah,
I do want to talk about the one thing from the showcase that kind of caught my interest.
Oh, wait a minute.
Let me go to
Lost says the best way to describe the game is No Mercy in WrestleMania in 2023 with slightly better graphics. It's an arcade wrestling game that focuses more on overall fun and nostalgia. And I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that, because that's what we've been looking for in a game. But yeah, what you got, Squilini?
So I'm going to share out my screen here. And I want to talk about how Microsoft finally is listening to a degree, and they're releasing a fucking 1 terabyte version of the Series S.
That's right. They showed that.
It's in all fucking black.
Yeah,
and it's all black.
And it's kind of
the only reason The only reason I hated the Series S to begin with was it was white. So it didn't go with shit on my fucking entertainment center in the living room. And it only had 512 gigs of storage unless you spent $300 for one of those fucking SD expansion cards to plug into the back of the motherfucker. Because I use Game Pass. I don't go out and buy games a lot.
Same here.
For Xbox. If I'm buying a game, it's going to be for Switch or PC. If I'm playing on the Xbox, it's 100% Game Pass. So whatever's on there, I find shit I want to play and I download it. And I actually end up picking up the 1 terabyte Series S to replace my fucking 512. What I might do is bring the 512 into the office or skin the 512, leave that in the living room, put this one in the office connected to my capture card for those times where I want to play something Xbox related on stream. But this was probably, obviously a lot of good games were announced, but out of everything, hardware, because it's the only hardware thing they announced, this I'm looking forward to in September.
That's all. I'm actually looking forward to that too. I've been looking at that as well. And with the fall coming in, we also have they were talking about where were we? Okay, this will be real quick because I know Jay's gonna go on a rant about this. There is a new Red Dead Redemption remaster coming out. It's real and it may release imminently. For those, I'm personally excited for this because I just finished playing Red Dead Redemption 2. And I would like to finally play Red Dead Redemption on PlayStation. Listen to me, on PC, where we could play the game in ultra graphics. We get to play Undead Nightmare again, and what's rumored that there's gonna be multiplayer Undead Nightmare. Who doesn't want that? Jay doesn't want it. Jay doesn't want it.
Don't need it.
So
I already played that game. You know what I'd really like? Undead Nightmare for fucking Red Dead Redemption 2. Where the fuck is that? Like, fuck you, Rockstar, dude. Like, I already fucking played Red Dead Redemption. That's fucking bitch shit, dude.
Well,
That's
it'll probably be
shit.
it'll be when the same engine that 2 was on.
Nope. I've got Red Dead Redemption. It's right there on my fucking 360. Right fucking there. Right there. I'm looking at it. Looking at it right now.
Well, good for you.
Fuck you, Rockstar. Fuck you.
Good for you, asshole. Good for you.
Are you like? Do you remember?
Were you going to say something, Squillini, or
do you remember the storyline?
Not about Red Dead.
Oh, yeah,
it's more gaming stuff. But
yeah, because I'm ready to go too. Yeah.
So before we hit any more on the Xbox showcase, I do want to talk about there was a Nintendo Direct last week.
Oh, there was. I missed it.
We're getting 2 new Mario games. Anybody that remembers Super Mario RPG from back in the day? They're doing a remaster of that for the Switch. And then we're getting another side-scroll Mario called Super Mario Wonder. First Mario game ever where Daisy is a playable character. Now, outside of that, they are releasing Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1 on the Switch, which is the original PlayStation Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear Solid 2, and Metal Gear Solid 3.
Snake Eater.
As Jay's like, fucking remasters. I hate this shit.
I have played all this shit. Like, what the fuck?
I have too, but I'm looking at it from Jay. So for me, I'm looking at it from a nostalgia standpoint.
I agree, except that's what all these fucking systems that I've saved over the years are for. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, see, if it wasn't for,
I go straight to the tap, homie. I go straight to the fucking source.
You know what? It's okay. When we're riding along into the sunset, he'll be left behind with the 30 frames per second.
No. I've got to say something though on this, because I used to still have, my PlayStation 1, my PS2, all that stuff. Back when I was with my last wife, when we split up, before I could get all my shit out of the house, she sold all my consoles.
Bruh.
So if I could readily available go get me a PS1 and a pristine copy of Metal Gear Solid for PlayStation, I'd do
I'm
that over
proud of my
fucking buying a
asshole.
remaster collection.
Right. Except you're still gonna buy it, right?
I have a PlayStation 1 and 2 right there in my hall, right there in my hallway.
But because I can't find
Share
a complete
and
copy,
turn back time. What?
because I can't find a complete copy of Metal Gear Solid, I'm gonna have to buy the remaster collection to be able to play it again.
Fair. Hey, man. For all the shit I talk, it's everybody else's fucking money. You can burn yours however you want. I prefer to burn mine on freaking cocaine and fucking whiskey. Okay, what do you want me to fucking say? No, I don't actually do that. No, but I'm just saying.
I at least do the whiskey part, but
Yeah.
you know,
It's like no. I burn all my money on my kids, basically. Like that's life, right? Like groceries and gas, and we just went to West Virginia to drop them off. You know what I mean? Like that costs money. Like
Yep.
I burn my money on that stuff. So
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, before I get to 6 Days of Fallujah, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 was announced. They're going to be adding simulations where you will be. It's not just a flight simulator now. Now you'll be doing like emergency simulations, and they're going to be using this game for more pilots and things like that for future pilots. It's a great training program. I'm very excited for it. Senua Saga Hellblade 2 was announced. Fable was announced. There are a lot of people. There's a lot of people excited about it, but there's another side that are like the fans who were desperately asking for it. They got it, but it seems like a lot of the ones that got what they saw weren't exactly happy with it. All I know is that it's an open world action RPG and a new beginning for the legendary and much loved franchise.
I mean, I liked Fable. I've played all the Fable games. I just feel like at this time, I want GTA fucking 6.
Yep. Now I'm going to get into 6 Days in Fallujah. There is one game.
good timing.
Oh, that's funny. And that's funny. Even Lost says it's shit. As a Fable fan, it's gaga. Even fan. So Fallujah, 6 Days in Fallujah. Let me tell you something, okay? First off, I don't even know where to start. Where do you want me to start?
Well, why don't you just start with the tutorial?
Beginning.
Yeah, go start with the tutorial and how the game is kind of like presented, and then
I don't do tutorials, but for this game, you're gonna need to do a tutorial.
Okay, I was gonna say.
Okay, there's no guided little notifications that tell you where you need to go. There's no mini map unless you pull out your radio. You're doing everything by sight, by ears.
Oh, like real life.
Like real fucking life.
Huh.
So, man, let me pull up some footage while I talk about this because I have legitimately there have been my playtime isn't that much, but during that playtime, I have shit my pants about 6 times. Okay.
How long is this game? Like if you played it all the way through, and let's say you just got lucky and didn't die.
The campaign is not out yet.
Oh, what is this, like a level?
So
it's all online right now. The online multiplayer is what's available.
Yeah, and it's on early access right now. They want you to experience it. So they want you to experience it in multiplayer first, which is fine. You could play solo as well, but I do not recommend it at all.
No.
It is ridiculous because
I played 10 minutes solo and got my shit rocked. Just
over and over again.
Yeah. So I'm going to give a huge shout out right now to a group that, I was getting frustrated with the solo. I was like, what the fuck am I going to do here? I really don't want to play with new people that I don't know. Played a couple games, real shitty. But then I met up with a group. They call themselves, I'm part of their Discord now. I'm going to give them a big shout out. They're called the 3rd Battalion, 3rd Marines Milsim Group.
Okay.
I went into this lobby and this guy, we said a bunch of army terms and the guy was like, wait a minute, are we all in the military? And we're all like, yeah. And he's just like, well, fuck me. I'm part of this group. I'm like, well, I have a military podcast. You should listen to us. So we started talking and like, I knew that we could fit in with these guys when I see this one guy's status that says, where is it? Something about being a domestic terrorist. Yeah, you know how veterans are.
Oh yeah.
And we go into the match, and the first thing the guy says is everyone combat experience, and there was two of us who weren't. One guy who just finished AIT in March, and then there was little old me, the cook, and
that guy's got his shit rocked.
Yeah, so the one guy, Sergeant Perry, he's in the military right now. He trains everybody in this milsim environment to teach them how to react in tactical situations like this. Now, when you look at the game, dude, there is no. I have to kind of fast forward it so I could. There is no mini map. Do you see a mini map here?
No.
Fuck no.
Why would you need one? Why would you need one? This is how this is how you're gonna have to do it in real time, kids.
And that guy just got his shit rocked.
Yeah.
Door-borne IED, probably.
Yeah, so we're this guy sucks, by the way. I don't know what the hell's going on with this dude. So you're using a compass with your radio. Now I'm getting into audio right now. The audio is amazing. If you hear someone shooting at you from your right side, you're going to hear it on your right side. If someone shoots you in your helmet, you're going to hear it. If you're wearing one of those Woodger subwoofer things, the gaming subwoofers, you're going to feel it. If there's a level where they drop mortars, right? Mm-hmm. If those mortars drop up in a good enough distance, that shrapnel will kill you.
Yeah.
Like legitimately, it will kill you.
Yeah.
You need to talk to each other. You need to use sound. In the buildings, it's probably one of the most crazy things because let's say there's two guys downstairs, right? Your voices echo through the hallways.
Right.
And if you have a guy upstairs, you could talk to the guy upstairs through the echoes. Or you could hit your button and pull out your radio, which then your mini map will come out and you'll be able to see where your buddies are. But the radio is real time. There's no delay. It sounds fucking great. Everyone has a role: suppression, team, lead, whatever it is. There's a whole manual on their Steam page about formations.
Yeah, like we practice in the fucking infantry.
Exactly. And this game, I'm not going to lie to you, I shit my pants. Now, at first, I was really frustrated with the solo play. I really felt like there should be a solo play aspect, but the campaign is not out yet, and that's okay. But I learned to meet a fucking awesome community, which on Friday, this community, they have a rank structure, and they're having a ceremony on Friday to rank someone up.
Huh.
This is a real Milsim community, and I'm actually going to ask him to come on the show to talk about Milsim because I want to know more about Milsim. I want to know why they do. I want to know about this shit. But they have a whole community of a military-like structure on Discord for gaming, and you earn it by playing these games with them. And 6 Days of Fallujah is that top game right now. A lot of people are probably not going to like it because of its graphics or because how hard it is. But when we're talking about a grounded game with realistic aspects and scary perspectives, it's a horror game on wheels. 6 Days of Fallujah gets a 9 out of 10. Okay. And I give it a 9 out of 10 because of community. This is a community game, and it'll be out on console.
Did you say they're going to port this to the consoles?
Yep. It's supposed to be coming up by the end of the year on console. It's on the early access right now, and I
look forward to it.
Yeah. Now for those, there was one gentleman who I was talking to that got out mid game because he said he couldn't do it. He was like, I was in Fallujah. He was like, I can't do this shit. And he left mid game. Some people it seems to be too grounded for people. But go ahead, Spillini.
Mm-hmm.
I want to hear it.
That's what I was going to say. So being someone that's been in combat, and the 10 minutes I played, holy fuck, did they hit that fucking shit right on the head of the fucking nail. Like, it's so realistic. I don't want them to make it a VR game.
No, I
That's
don't.
how
I don't
fucking
either.
realistic it is, because it's literally like John was saying.
I do. I'll vote for VR, dude, right now.
If and you know, I can see where, you know, the guys that were in Fallujah and did time there would have a hard time playing this game because it's going to bring back a lot of that.
Urban combat fucking sucks. There's nothing fun about urban combat.
Oh yeah,
in any regard, in any fucking regard.
Any regard, urban combat's always sucks. Yep. And you know, the 10 minutes I played, it's a great game. Like, I'm gonna pick it back up. I ended up having to return it due to other reasons, not the game or anything. Just a refund for right now. I'm gonna get it back in a couple weeks. When I get it back, John, me and you're gonna have to drop in and play some, because
this is
I really do want to dive into. I really do want to dive into this fucking game more and play it. And I can see where having a group of guys that are all military, we have, you know, room clearing training, we have fucking combat training, all that shit. This game's the game for us. It's not Call of Duty, it's not Fortnite, it's not Battlefield, it's not any of these other fucking first person shooters we've played before. Because it does
a lot of the mechanics that I wished would have been in Call of Duty. I already see a lot of the mechanics in this game already, just by your guys.
It heavily relies. So, like, when you first boot up the game for the first time, it says, hey, make sure you have a microphone. The game auto turns on your microphone. It says, if you use Discord or anything, make sure to not be in a Discord chatter. Mute your Discord while you're in the game, because it auto turns on your mic, because it wants you to communicate. It wants you to make call outs. It wants you to do shit like that.
And from experience, I was in, and my boys in Lost over here could attest. I was in a game and while in the Discord with them, and I was like, guys, I got to go. I was like, I can't. I was like, this is crazy. Like it was very scary, and I can't wait for this game to come out on console. It's going to be, from what I read, it's going to be crossplay. It's going to be scary as shit, and it's going to be a banger. I can't wait to see what this studio will do next.
I would love to play this game on like a fucking 65, 75 inch fucking flat screen fucking TV on the wall, and just sit back on the couch and just fucking headset, microphone, bigger screen, because just from my 32 inch fucking 4K panel at my computer desk and the 10 minutes of play I played, fucking game, graphics, everything phenomenal. Again, 10 minutes, and I'm already gonna say it's a fucking 20 out of 10.
Yeah, they did a really good job. The fear factor is in.
Looking forward to the full version.
It gets the adrenaline and the blood fucking pumping. Just like I was, like, I literally felt like I was back in fucking combat.
It makes you sweat. It makes you sweat. It makes you sweat. And yeah, that's 6 days, man. And the one review before I bought the game, there was a review in there. It said, I didn't know I was buying a documentary. Because when you start the game, it's very documentary like, and when you play. But yeah, go get it, guys. This is a definitely banger. And now for the main event. We're going to talk about some Starfield real quick. It's not going to be long. I'm going to break down a couple cool, exciting things that are coming out. I bought the watch, and I know you guys were going to joke about my spending habits, but fuck you guys.
Whatever you want, whatever you want to burn your money on, John.
Okay, I spent
a fucking watch.
I spent $400 on the Starfield watch, but let's get into it. So we have an open world.
You know how much cocaine
game.
and pussy you could have got for that?
None, because I'm married.
Oh,
so
I'm sorry. You're right.
He could have gotten the cocaine, given it to his wife, and then gotten the pussy for free. So
I would have gotten the cocaine and went to an area and just sell it for double the price.
There you go.
I'm rich now. So
go ahead.
I mean, Joe, if you want to, you should look. I think cocaine and Starfield are a great mix too.
Oh my god.
Okay, like this game is open world. It has a hell of a lot of quests, and there is a moral a moral system to it. On top of that, there's going to be you're going to have different things like if you're familiar with Skyrim, I mean not Skyrim, but the older Elder Scrolls game, there's a feature called Adoring Fan, which has a super fan follow you around and give you stuff for free all the time. You know, which is cool. A lot of people are excited about that. We also have landscape. We have planets and universes, endless planets. It's going to be so big. You're going to be able to mine. You're going to be able to harvest. You're going to be able to. We'll get to some of the base buildings soon. But you know,
I get to kill aliens. That's all I care about.
Yes,
I just want to shoot some.
Yes, we'll get to that soon. A major thing that we have here is character creation. Everyone likes to create their own characters, and it is going to be so goddamn in depth. They face scanned hundreds of people to have a diverse way to make your character the way that you want it to. It's very similar to what we're used to with the old Bethesda games like Skyrim and Fallout, I will say. But you know, it doesn't go. There's going to be a skill tree. There's gonna be a skill tree available that you're gonna be able to put in your, you know, a whole bunch of stuff. Like over here, you rank 1. This one is intimidation. You'll be able to intimidate people. They even have a perk where you can talk to animals.
Interesting.
You know, so if you have
I'm just gonna backtrack for a second here to the character creation. I'm totally gonna be an old Asian dude.
And you could do it. And you
just
can
because
because the old samurai warrior.
And I'm pretty sure that they'll have like a cool like melee weapon too eventually. And this is your perk chart. It looks pretty simple, something we're familiar with. You can learn how
max out tech.
they have a xenosociology, so you can see it right here. You have the option to pacify the wildlife, pacify, flee, frenzy, control. You could do this to these animals. Oh, Law says they're going to make Chen Wei Long. Here's some combat. What you want to see, right, Gio? The combat.
Gio, what the fuck?
Yeah, because that's who Lost is.
Oh, is that really?
Yeah. Yeah, he was a guest twice on our show. Yeah,
I remember.
Now here comes one of my favorite parts that I'm super excited about is the shipbuilding. You are going to be able to customize your ships any way that you want. You want to make a possum? You could make it. You want to make like a Voltron type dude? You can make it. Okay, you have different upgrades. You could travel through space faster. You could make this thing into a dog fighter. You could have like automatic defenses. You could even make a section where you could have more crew members inside of it. It is so endless.
So Lost. I was just about to go there. I'm totally gonna fucking make the goddamn Megazord.
Yeah, I actually think they have. Look,
roll
right
around
here.
in the fucking damn Dino Megazord. Yep,
there it is.
It's like some fucking Warhammer 40K shit right there.
Yeah, it is. The customizations on the ships are going to be so. Yeah, people are building Zords, and I can't wait for that. Companions, you're going to be able to have friends that you could have on your ship to hire. You could fall in love. You could hate someone, and let's just say you have an issue with someone on your ship that you don't like, or that you feel that they're not resourceful. You could betray them, and you could either have your whole squad be okay with it, or they don't need to know anything at all, and they could just question where the hell he went. Space flight is a big thing. As you can see, here are the controls. You're going to be zooming. You're going to be just flying right through. There are so many buttons too, and from what I understand, every single button is interactive.
This looks pretty.
I'm gonna have to get a whole nother fucking stream deck just to hotkey shit for fucking space flight in this game.
Oh, right.
Yeah, then there's exploration, and then you could build your bases. You could build outposts. You can have gardens. You could have water filtration. You have a companion robot named Vasco along with you. And yeah, combat.
All right.
Guns, guns,
Like
guns,
combat.
guns, guns. Yes, the combat looks very seamless. If it looks like it flows really good.
That was a nice headshot.
Yeah, you could either go inside. Oh, there you go. There you go.
Put a
Change
fucking
that.
axe in
There it
somebody's
is.
fucking face.
I'm gonna be a fucking Viking fucking spaceman and just run around and just fucking
Yeah.
battle axe motherfuckers.
Fucking A. Fucking A.
Whatever that thing.
Fucking Rambo knife that motherfucker to death.
Yep, you could build a melee character there, and just like any other like what we're used to with Fallout, weapon customizations, things like that. So they didn't really go into too much detail about the customizations with
Grenades
the
in
weapons.
space.
Yep, grenades in space. They said that each planet's going to have different gravity. The way people die is going to have different like. It's good that they said that the science is very smart with it. Very smart with it. So that's
Looks
Starfield.
Good. It looks good.
I'm ready for it.
That looks like a
September it
giant
comes
game.
out.
That looks like a giant game, and it looks like it. I might struggle at first to get into it, but it looks like if I got into it, I could probably make it work. You know what I mean? It's been a long time since I've played like a really fleshed out like RPG.
Yeah,
and that one looks like it might be fun. You know what I mean?
And the thing is, you know, yes, it's not multiplayer to where you can't group up with people in the real world and play it, but
you really
it kind of
like
it kind of brings us back to the old Bethesda games, the old Elder Scrolls, old Fallout, where it was just you and the fucking environment.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it gives us a new twist on things, because I'm sure they pulled in aspects from fucking Elder Scrolls, they pulled in aspects from Fallout, and then they just made it space.
I wonder what the Easter eggs are going to be like.
It's going to have some nostalgia factors for sure.
Yep.
And I like that. So I'm definitely, you know, again, I'm not a big pre-orderer. I'm not going to pre-order it. I'm especially not going to pre-order it for $400 because of the watch. But I will purchase it and play it.
Oblivion is still a top game. Like,
see, I've played Skyrim all the way through on every fucking console they've released it on so far.
They gave Skyrim the GTA treatment. They really did. And you know, since we're coming into the end, it's the 4th of July tomorrow.
Fucking A.
So as you guys know, I'm just, you know, you guys, I'm going to put this up right here for you guys so everyone can see what the hell is going on. Let's talk about fireworks, the safety of them. You know, guys, it's Independence Day. We're celebrating. Yes. It's a fucking stink. Oh my god. You know, it was in sync too. That's how funny it is. You know, my legs are sore. I don't know if I'm doing any barbecuing tomorrow, but I sure, you know, we're gonna try to go for it. You know, hey,
better drop them balls and get out there and barbecue. It's the 4th of fucking July, man.
So we're just doing some basic, you know, hamburgers and hot dogs tomorrow. On Saturday, we're doing a little community get together out here at my apartment. A bunch of us decided to get together. We said, you know what, the complex, usually when they do shit, it's like from 3 till like 5 in the afternoon on a fucking Tuesday.
Yeah.
When everybody's at work. So we're like, we're going to get together. I'm going to pull the smoker out on Saturday at like 4 o'clock in the fucking morning, throw a brisket on that motherfucker. Neighbors doing a pork shoulder. We're not doing anything big for the 4th because, you know, obviously everybody's got to fucking work the next day.
Tuesday. It's fucking Tuesday.
but you know, we're going to definitely throw down.
I have to
just
agree.
hamburgers and dogs tomorrow. Hang out at the fucking pool all day, get drunk, go to work on Wednesday.
You guys know what I'm doing this weekend?
Barbecuing?
No. I'm working at I'm working Taylor Swift fucking Friday and Saturday.
Where's that picture?
Stellini?
Where's that picture, John? Where's the picture?
Fuck.
Yeah, what picture?
No.
We were picking on you when you disappeared a little bit earlier. Before we went live.
When I went to go beat off to Taylor Swift, or what?
That is so fucking funny that I found it. I cannot fucking believe it.
What you got?
He pulls this picture up and he's like, well, found out Jay's a closet Swiftie.
Oh, dude.
No, dude. This is actually because when you had stepped off, we had pulled this photo up right here.
Oh, I saw that.
Woman hides identity because she called in sick to work.
She called in sick. Yeah, I saw that. That's fucking hilarious. I got no shame in my game, dude. Like, I love fucking Taylor Swift, and like I've been listening to her for a long time because I got 2 daughters. You know what I mean? So like,
it's hilarious that me and John were fucking poking fun about it and said that was you, and then you at the end of the episode are like, yeah, I'm working the fucking Swift concert this coming weekend.
No, not concerts. It's multiple, and I just want to for all you people out there that are willing to spend thousands of dollars on tickets, dude. Like, I'm gonna get paid to see 2. So fuck and you.
Are you good? Oh shit. Well, on that note, guys, just remember for the final thought, be safe, be wary of veterans who do not like boom booms, because that happens a lot. There is a veteran in your neighborhood. Just be wary of the noise, be wary of the animals. Animals do not like the fireworks sound either. It's a lot of popping. Do it safely. Do it at a park. If you have a big piece of land, do it on a big piece of land. Don't burn your damn tree.
Hold on. Pulling this up. I just sent it in our group chat while you're talking about this.
Oh, I'm pulling it up now.
Joe Tex Quillini joined.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, because my thing. Please be considerate with fireworks. Combat veteran lives here. Please feel free to go apeshit with your fireworks. You remind me of being in battle, and I really miss being in battle. So there's 2 sides of the coin.
I'm the bottom half.
Yep, there you go. So guys, just keep it safe. Obviously, if you feel alone, where to find us. On top of that, that you can always call the National Suicide Hotline at *988 or 1-800-273-8255. That is 1-800-273-TALK, also *988. Guys, you are truly not alone. We are here every single week. We're going to be back in less than 168 hours. No vacations, or who knows? You never know. A lot of spontaneous things can happen between now and then.
They always do. And I'll definitely have
fuck you, Brandon.
I'll definitely have a roadhouse from Arrowhead Stadium, and I'll give you guys a fucking top to bottom on fucking Taylor Swift. How about that?
There you go. You go. We'll make sure to have non-copyright music renditions playing too.
It'll be all right.
We'll just get Jay to sing Swift songs, and then it will be okay.
Allegedly, that might actually be fun. Allegedly, apparently her fucking set is like 3 fucking goddamn hours long. So I'm actually like, I'm gonna be on my feet for a fucking hot minute of this one. So I'm kind of curious. I'm really like kind of curious how this one's gonna go. This is gonna be an interesting one. This is gonna be my first. It's not my first concert at Arrowhead, or by any stretch my first concert, but I would say this is gonna be my first concert of this this magnitude. Like, this is one of those like stadium tours that people talk about like 3 decades from now and shit. So like, I am kind of curious about it. Like, I really am. So it's gonna be yeah, dude, that's fucking right, Cardenas. Like, I get paid. I'm gonna get paid twice to go see what the fuck everybody else is paying thousands of fucking dollars to go see.
Jay, he was saying he'd pay $1,000 to see you singing Keith Whistle.
Well, hey, Cardenas, you hit up my Venmo, homie. I'll fucking sing next week. How about that? You got $1,000 to blow? Fucking hit me up, because I could use some extra scratch right now. Okay. Like,
yeah, because Jay doesn't do cocaine. Remember?
No, never in my life have I ever done that drug, ever.
Well, guys, we'll see you Sunday.
Damn it.
Don't ask, don't tell, Cardenas. Don't ask, don't tell.
There you go.
Now,
So guys, we'll see you. We'll see you this weekend.
guys, be good, be safe. Happy fucking Independence Day, guys. Be good.
Drink and drink water.
Save your fucking hands. Don't blow them off, dipshits.